Hi, my name is Dongho Kwak, and I'm a PhD candidate at RIPMO. And today I'm going to be talking about what we mean by music for cells. So as Thomas has mentioned before me, rhythm is one of the important parameters that we are interested in in our project. We at RIPMO, especially as an interdisciplinary research center at the musicology department at UIO, have a number of different research areas, and we study how music and sound affects us in many different ways. But also for us, rhythm is something that we consider as a key element in many of our research areas, and that's one of the main common themes that echoes throughout our different areas of interest. And I'm particularly interested in the rhythms and sound of the body that we can find in our body. And we can find these rhythms and sound almost everywhere in our body, but we typically find them where they have a vital function, such as heartbeats and cardiovascular system and respiration, and also in our locomotion. Through the eyes of musicology and music technology, these phenomena, which is comparable to certain musical elements, are indeed quite fascinating. And many of these different parts have their own unique pitch and rhythmic and periodic structure. Although in real life things are not as straightforward as this simplified illustration that we see on our screen, these basic but different elements are constantly interacting with one another and form some sort of a harmonious state, which is referred to as homeostasis in physiological terms. Beyond what we can see with our naked eye, we find that these vital rhythmic features are driven by what is generally considered as the smallest unit of our body, cells. So, as my colleagues have already introduced it, in our BINO project we aim to use acoustic and mechano-based stimuli to help making the insulin-producing cells through stem cell differentiation. And through many years of research in the field of mechanobiology specifically, researchers have found that the physical properties of the cells can be understood by analyzing the cellular responses against different types of mechanical probing. And also there's a very complex response system within the cells when external physical forces are applied upon them. And these physical forces play an important role in the life processes at cellular level, such as the fate of stem cells. And although how sound pressure waves, as Thomas mentioned it, that's applied upon the cells have a biological effect is still unclear. There are several reports of examples of yeast cells, for example, vibrating at certain frequency, and how altering the conditions like temperature and drug effects, the vibrating frequency changes, and indicating how vibration is vital sign of a different state of the cells. And perhaps sound pressure waves are capable of manipulate the cells in certain way, and perhaps there's a breakthrough to be made. And indeed, last decade or so, there have been efforts by the researchers to understand the effects of sound pressure waves on the cells. And there are several studies that, and they can be largely divided into groups of bacteria and mammal cells, including human cells, and also further into groups of simple and complex sounds. A wide range of frequencies, as you can see within the audible range, was tested, and different outcomes of these studies are quite encouraging and show that cells do display biological responses when sounds were played to them inside the lab. However, we see that there is perhaps a need to turn our attention to signals that we get from the natural human bodies. When And when more physiologically relevant stimulus is applied to the cells, we could perhaps expect more natural biological responses of the cells. And also these rhythms and sounds of the human body are perhaps very musical. With this framework in mind, we are studying and investigating the physiological rhythms and sounds of the human body. And also with our music technology and digital audio signal processing and synthesis background, we aim to develop a theoretical and experimental model of controllable sound parameters based on the physiology as cellular stimuli for the Arduino project. And answers might lie within ourselves if we listen carefully. Thank you.